Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Now you know why that sounds been coming out. I have been battling.
Yeah, war cry. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, we need to talk. Not on camera. This is not for you, folks.
Yeah, okay.
For none of you.
Don't worry, I will edit that.
That's okay. The straw's fine.
Okay, the scraw. All right, well then, hey, and she says I can keep it, so I'll just get started. Hey,
good.
everybody, welcome to the Conversation Stash. I'm your favorite fabulous fairy, Shaenna, and I'm here with Besty Champ.
Hello.
We're talking about Journey of the Heart today.
Yes, we are talking about Journey of the Heart.
So, I guess we got to start off with what is Journey of the Heart?
Journey of the Heart is a program and course to help people who have been through some kind of sexual trauma. It could be prostitution, it could be trafficking, it could be really bad choices. I'm one of those who made some really bad choices.
Okay.
And for 30 years, I've been looking over my shoulder, afraid my secrets were going to come out.
Wow. So this is, if you've been through something really horrible and you're looking to release that trauma and start experiencing what your heart is about other than that painful feeling, that's what Journey of the Heart's here for.
And that's how it started, just uncovering the layers, finding out why 30 years of reading self-help and taking courses and being around really positive people, and I still had that wall around me.
Yeah. Man, well, you did a really good job. When I met Betsy, I could tell she had something going on, but she's very good at being open and happy and everything's fine. And I guess I'm kind of good at that too, but I also was a victim of abuse and sexual assault and rape and things like that. And my choices were thrust upon me. But when I met her, it was like our walls saw each other. And hey, you got the same kind of wall as I do. What's going on here? And so we kind of grew together in a way. And I'd like to think that you've actually really helped me on my journey in becoming a more confident self again. So,
thank you.
I was like,
and I would not be where I am today without your help too.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, symbiotic relationships, you got to love that. So, So tell me a little bit more about Journey of the Heart. Like, what is it when they go there? What are they experiencing?
Well, Journey of the Heart is really your journey within, because with bad choices, and it can be just plain one-night stands and promiscuity, at least for me, those started weighing me down. And then it was Katie bar the door. It didn't matter anymore where I went and what I did. I hated filling out job applications because, except in California, now they've changed it, even 30 years, it means ever. So sometimes you just have to fill out, if you want the job, you have to be honest. And that's why I hardly ever have a job. I can't stand to go through the application process.
So, I mean, if you've gone through something, whether it was thrust upon you or you made wrong choices in yourself, you might not realize how far these repercussions go and for how long that they're going to follow you and what ways it's going to hinder you in your normal life. So, I mean, everybody needs to have some sort of income. If you're so embarrassed or so traumatized from the abuse that you've gone through that you can't even fill out a application form to get a job, then that's somewhere where Journey of the Heart might be able to help you.
And just to be able to be more confident, to be okay living in your own skin, and not always be looking over your shoulder like somebody from my past is going to show up and then everybody's going to know in the most awkward scenario.
So give me a rundown a little bit about
that was just another earthquake.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, we're still alive. It is California.
Yeah. So give me a little rundown. When they go to Journey of Heart, what are they going to be experiencing? What would a session be like?
It's all self-driven, with guided instructions, of course. The process is to walk through and really identify where the hurts are. And, you know, the universe is going to put sandpaper in your life to scrub off the areas that you thought were okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the journey to find that self-love again. I have to say, I was one of those people who the universe could have loved me all at once, everybody in the world, and it wouldn't have been enough.
I was there too. You could have never told me, and I would have actually believed you.
If somebody said, I love you, yeah, right. What do you want? There she is. Look, she's got things in her eye.
I was like, what the beep? Okay, sorry.
Like maybe Oscar just flew through
it might have been Oscar, yeah, the fly.
But yeah, part of the journey I've taken has been, of course, with Shaenna on her twin flame journey. She's taught me a lot of tricks that have gotten me released from some of my shame. I've also been an avid student of recovery and self-improvement. I've got a really great self-love course that I'm in the middle of right now. So I'm always gathering new tools. Everything that we talk about, I've used on myself.
So would it be like obviously there's going to be some talking. Do you meditation? Is there any kind of like spiritual involvement? You know what I'm trying to get at?
I do. If you're working with a therapist, please stay with your therapist. If you're in recovery, please stay with your program. If you're part of a church, please stay with that. This takes you a little bit off the mainstream. doTERRA oils have been incredible.
Oh, okay.
Crystals
yep.
have been incredible. Yeah, Shaenna just laid some information on me. It's like, okay, I think I need to hold a rock.
Before we started, this is a little bit of an emotional subject for both of us, and so she was a little nervous. I was like, why don't you try my feather jasper for a little bit, because I'm somebody who I don't go anywhere without my stones and at least one oil in my purse just to keep me going good. I mean, if you don't know about essential oils, it could be anything from lavender to peppermint to just even orange to bring you up. But sometimes when you're going through really heavy abuse or trauma, or you're trying to get over that, something, sensory like that can bring you up a level.
It brings you up a level, but our most powerful sense is our olfactory.
Mm-hmm.
It goes directly into that one little pineal gland, I think it is. And that's where things change. And I'm one of those people, if you take one aspirin, 2 is better. There's a lot of oils I put together that I do not recommend, but it acted like a bulldozer.
Yes. Yeah, you'll definitely get some interesting results depending on the oils you get. You sometimes it'll bring out more of an emotional response. And sometimes it helps to basically just let you work through it, but maybe you needed to cry through it to be able to get through it. So that's just part of the process, and you kind of have to allow the process to work for you. Yeah,
and they've been really helpful for me, and I know they have been for other people, because I've been clean and sober for 30 years. Sometimes I just wanted that little something, something.
Just to help out.
Just that little help out. The doTERRA oils give you just that little, okay, I can keep going.
So when they work with you, do you suggest oils and stones for them along with your counseling or your session that you do?
I do, and I don't do counseling.
Okay, that's why I didn't know.
I'm not a therapist, but yeah, we do.
What would you call what you do?
A facilitator.
A facilitator.
A facilitator.
So she'll help you facilitate your own healing.
Because all healing comes from inside.
It really does.
And yeah, we look at it from a spiritual aspect. Of course, we use the oils, we use the crystals, we use meditations, we use a lot of writing. When I started intentionally journaling, that's when my life started changing.
I will say that's actually relevant for myself too. There's something very powerful about writing to release, and also writing to manifest. You write what you need to release, and once it's gone, it's gone. You either burn it or you get rid of it. You never look at it again. And then when you write to manifest, you're writing things like, I'm loved, I'm respected, I'm treasured, I love myself. Things like that. And you make it true by putting it into the atmosphere that's what the truth is, and it becomes the truth.
And, after this, it's been a real rocky year, but I have just, in the last week, really been able to say I love myself unconditionally.
That's good.
That's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
That is a miracle. Now, that doesn't mean I still don't derail, but it was much easier to love other people. We talked on another show about Project Linus. Project Linus started breaking down my walls because I was able to love people that couldn't return love at a distance, so it was safe. now I'm able to work with other people and
hopefully accept love that's a little bit closer.
That's one of the things I'm working on.
That's beautiful. So you said that this includes rape victims. Now when we think of rape, we normally think of women, but is this something that men could go through too?
Yes, it is. Physiologically, we're different. We still have the same hurts. We still have the same emotions. We still have the same pains. Most of the time, we've been taught how to handle them differently. But yes, men are
told to shut up and not complain. Usually, is what happens.
She put that way nicer than I would have. But yes, men are definitely victims, and they can continue to be victims and be victimized just like women can, because you get that victim mentality, and then we were talking about the wolf smell blood, and you're always a victim.
That's true. If you've got that fear on you, there's something about that people will smell it, and they'll go up to you and they'll try to be like maybe friendly to your face, and then take you for all you got. And now you're blindsided because now you've been hurt because you let out your trust for a little bit. But at least for me, it's not necessarily that I need to be a wolf, but I need to be able to know when the wolves are there and know when I need to guard myself versus when I'm okay to kind of let my shell off a little bit. That's definitely some place that you can help with this, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. You said that it keep your religion. So how do we fit religion in with what you do?
Religion to me is a building with a teaching.
Okay.
A relationship is with whoever your creator is, and everything has been formed somewhere. Even if it's a big bang, everything was created somehow. And everything has been put here for us to use and grow. Yes, there's good. Yes, there's bad. Yes, there's light. Yes, there's dark. I've had many conversations lately with my creator, and he says, no, you keep questioning everything you do, so you are walking in integrity. Be true to your heart. If your heart is dark, you're going to be dark. If your heart is light, it only gets lighter.
That's completely true, and being truthful to yourself is something I try to tell my clients too. And when I say speak your truth, I mean, if you're walking into a room and you're uncomfortable every time you've ever gone into that house, into that room with those people, acknowledge that. Go, okay, I'm uncomfortable when I come here. Why am I uncomfortable? Is it the people? Is it the atmosphere? Is there something I can do to change this? Or do I need to simply remove myself from this situation? A lot of times we fear loss over the fear of whatever the negative thing is that we're putting ourselves into, because we know the negative thing we're putting ourselves into. But the thought of oh, what if I leave? Then I'm not going to have anything, or possibly I'll find something worse. Those fears can sometimes keep us weighed down. So for me, I feel like just realizing that you are in control of your own happiness and of your own destiny, and you must listen to yourself. And when yourself is telling you those little signals, hey, this doesn't feel right, you need to listen. Hey,
Trust your intuition.
This doesn't feel right. This person no longer brings me happiness. Now I'm afraid of them. Now I feel angry every time I'm around them. Maybe I feel like I'm less every time I'm around them. Well, remove yourself from the situation. Don't fear the loss. You will have somebody better or something better replace that as soon as you make room for it. But there's no room for it as long as you allow that negativity to stay in your life.
Right. And what we work on is raising our vibration so high that we change the vibration in the room. But you also mentioned something else that we work on, negative self-talk.
Negative self-talk. Oh
my
gosh.
That is a big one, and I have found some amazing tools that, depending on what it is, okay, it may take me several times through that particular procedure. Sometimes I can get like 3 steps in and it's like, oh, it's 10 minutes later. I forgot I was doing this. It can happen instantly that you just change that thought.
And that's absolutely true. The negative self-talk still gets to me sometimes. I don't mean to, but my twin flame, actually, he's the one that tells me, stop talking bad about yourself. I'm like, I wasn't. And he'll repeat what I said and I'll think about it. I'm like, okay, I guess I was kind of talking bad about myself. So it can sneak up on anybody at any point in time. We're always on a journey of healing. There's never a destination. It's like a recovering addict. You're never recovered. You're always recovering. You're never completely healed. You're always healing. And it's not that you don't have the strength to turn down the drugs or the booze or whatever it is. It's that part of you has that, and it needs to be, you're just stronger than that. You're just able to say no thank you, even though part of it is always there with you. So the same with that negative self-talk and those negative, like if you're self-abusive and things like that. Like for instance, when I was in high school, I was a cutter and things like that. It was, you know, and people cut for different reasons. My reason was that I had such deep pain on the inside. It was emotional pain. People can't relate to that and they don't see it, so they don't assume that you're hurt. But if they saw a physical something, they saw blood or they saw a cut, then, oh, you're hurt. I see that you're hurt. And I definitely do not endorse that. I haven't cut for years, and if you're doing that, please talk to somebody and stop. Well, please stop.
And, you know, just grab that song by Logic.
Which one?
800-273-8255 is the name of the song. That's the suicide prevention line.
Oh, okay.
And I wear a bracelet all the time with that phone number, because another love I have is veterans, and 22 veterans are still committing suicide every day.
That's horrible. We love you, vets. Please don't do that.
Thank you. We're doing this on Memorial Day. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your service. It is Memorial Day, by the way. But, I mean, pain comes from different places, and if you're trying to heal yourself, you need to realize that this is always going to be a journey, and there's going to be ups and downs, but you can't beat yourself up. You just have to keep moving forward. If you have a day where you fall, you got to pick yourself back up and start again the next day.
Definitely. And I had an opportunity to realize the other day just how important those tiny little steps are. Those tiny little decisions. How far you can come when they accumulate. And you know, you have days where you may take a step forward and then the next day you are back a mile. Okay, you've got 5,280 feet to catch up again.
But it's a bite the elephant one, or to eat the elephant one bite at a time kind of a situation. You can eat the whole thing.
You will choke on it.
But you
if
have
you try to eat it all at once.
You're not gonna, unless your jaw unhinges, and good luck even then.
You're like Anaconda.
Yeah. So don't try to be hard on yourself. Like, oh, I'm not where I thought I would be. I'm not where I thought I would be, but I am way far past where I thought I would be when I started. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, I can't believe I got this far, you know?
And I'm at a place I never dreamed my whole life I could be.
Yeah. Well, you've said self-love. If you are somebody who has always loved yourself, you have no idea what we're talking about. If you're somebody who has prayed for death, I have. If you're somebody who has spent like every emotion you have crying into a book that you're writing your last memoirs in, and, you know, recounting every horrible thing that's ever happened to you and asking God, why did this happen to me? If you've been there, then you know how hard self-love can be. And you can have everybody tell you you're amazing. I've had people tell me I'm beautiful. I've had people tell me I'm talented. I've had people tell me all kinds of things. And I look at them and I say, who are you talking about? If you were talking about...
behind you, it's like,
yeah!
Wait, are you talking to somebody behind me?
Who are you talking about? Because in my life, I don't see me as that. In my life, I see myself as all the flaws. I don't see myself as all the perfection and all the things I did get right. But that's starting to change. And now I'm starting to love myself and be grateful that I didn't do it. I'm really glad I didn't do it. I'm really glad that I stayed around. I'm really glad that that I was there for the hard times, because now I know what good times are. And if I hadn't had them to compare, I would never know.
If we don't have the sad, we don't have the joy. If we don't have dark, we don't know what light is.
It's completely true. It is absolutely completely true. So, are you healed?
No. You just mentioned it. It's a journey. And as I've said, I am so far ahead of where I ever dreamed was possible. It was only wow, I wonder if it's true even. Who are these people that look so happy? And I know people who I truly believe have always been filled with self-love.
Mm-hmm. I know a couple, and it astonishes me. I'm like, really? You never thought about hurting yourself? Never?
It's like, you're kind of weird.
Yeah, how did you get away with that?
Yeah, and I never did attempt suicide because I was always too afraid I wouldn't be successful.
And there's that. And if you mess yourself up, then you're messed up for the rest of your life.
And I have known people.
And I have known people too. So again, please don't hurt anybody. Can we get that number again if you're having problems?
Sure. 800-273-8255.
Okay, I'll put that at the bottom. If you know anybody or you're having hard times, please call the number. Please call the number. It's worth it to at least give it a call.
And it's not just for veterans, it's for everyone.
Yeah, and I actually just saw a live suicide on Facebook last month. some guy was wearing like a kitty mask with like the vomit coming out of the kitty mask, and my boyfriend was like, hey, look at this. This guy's threatening to kill himself. And then we sat there and watched it for like 10 minutes. And we didn't type on there, hey, don't do it or anything. We were just kind of like, what is this guy really doing? And sure enough, he did it. He did it. And his girlfriend was live typing to her, but typing to him. And she wasn't like, don't do it. She was like, are you going to do it? Not really, right? And I'm just like, watching this, I'm like, okay, first of all, the shock of what did I just see? And then secondly, the shock of what did she just do? And then
there have been convictions.
Yeah. And,
recently.
Yeah, and it's, I feel that, like, if you're somebody and somebody says, hey, I'm going to hurt myself, do not joke with that. Do not egg them on. Do not say, oh, well, you're a pussy, blah, 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 blah. No. No. I don't care if you think they're joking or not. You need to contact somebody and get somebody down there. Because it's impacting not just them. That's going to impact their entire family. That's going to impact the world, you know. And every time that something like this happens, we get so close to having our liberties taken away from us, and it's because people aren't being responsible with the ones that they've been given. So be responsible with yourself, and if you know somebody who's in danger, reach out. Sorry.
And all I can say is ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. One of my philosophies that I learned a long time ago in life is I will go to hell and back with you. And I will do whatever we can to make it at least tolerable for today. But if you're going to go to hell and you choose to, leave me out. I'm not going with you.
Yeah.
So if you want to change, later on we'll tell you how to reach me.
Yeah. I've got a question. You know, sometimes victims that maybe they want to talk to you, but they're currently going through abuse, and that can leave them afraid that somehow the word's going to get back to their abuser, or somehow something's going to find out that they're reaching out for help. So, I mean, just so that they know what's going on, when they reach you and they say, hey, I need to talk, but I'm currently being abused, do you report that, or what goes on with that?
I have had to do a lot of soul searching on that. And the answer off the top is no. I'm not a mandatory reporter, which meant because I did work in a school situation for a while, if I suspected a child was being hurt, I had to report it. So I'm not a law enforcement. I'm not a medical personnel. I do not have to report it. I truly, truly believe that the healing that can come to you, the ripple will be so broad that it will impact so many people for so long, that right now, if you are not safe, leave. Mm-hmm. Just leave. It's the hardest thing you will ever do, but just leave. But if you are not physically in danger, and you know, if you're the abuser, everything is confidential. I understand that too.
Well, you know, I feel like sometimes abusers, to put it eloquently, shit rolls downhill. So if your family had abused you, and that's all you ever knew, and that's all you ever saw, and then you get in a relationship, and then now you're an abuser, you might not enjoy it, but there's something about you that you can't help but reacting in those ways because that's all you've ever known. You're a victim too at that point. You really are. You're a victim of your own bringing up, and so there's some healing that you could do that could let you release that need to be I don't want to say a monster, but if you're going through some stuff and you're being an abuser, that's kind of a monster characteristic. But if you want to
feel like one,
if you want to let that go, well, because you might actually love the person you're hurting, and you don't know why you're hurting them.
Very rarely do you hurt somebody randomly.
Exactly. And actually, I was with somebody who was abusive to me, and they told me that they loved me so much they were terrified that I would leave them, and yet they were physically abusive to me on the daily. Years down the line, we've talked about it, and they kind of told me about their traumas they were going through. And it was just, it rolled downhill. It landed on me. So if you're one of those people and you're like, you know, I want to change because I don't want to hurt the person I love. I don't want to continue to cause pain and cause that ripple effect. And I don't want to go to jail later for continuing this abuse. seek some help, seek some guidance. They can help you work through your issues so that you don't feel the need to pass that on to someone else.
And that's an area that I've really, you mentioned the family dynamics. I've really started studying on family karma, on generational curses. There's a lot of stuff that really gets bound up in our DNA coding. And a lot of the stuff, you know, there you can be set free from it.
Yeah. And it's a journey. So if you're willing to take the first step, that's like the hardest step, is the first step.
Picking up that 10,000 pound phone. Or keying in that 10,000 character email.
Yeah. So you talked about how the oils have helped you and all of that. Did you have anything that I have not touched on that you think that people should know?
Oh, I'm sure there was, but I don't remember what it was now. That's why I wrote my answers.
Well,
you were going to write my answers for me, too.
I was like, well, I only wrote the questions. I didn't write the answers. Like, we went over rape victims, healing, how you became involved.
And it really, victim status doesn't mean gender. And you can choose to be a victim all your life. You can become a victor. You can be a survivor and still be dying inside.
Oh, I have a good question. What's the age requirements to work with you? That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
That's a good question.
I would say adults, but you know, if you're 15 years old and you need a hand out, I'm not going to call anybody and tell them you're talking to me.
Okay, yeah, because I know actually a few girls who were rescued actually here from Madeira. There was a house here that I drove by. I don't even know how many times I drove by. It got busted here in Madeira. It had 12 girls in 6 rooms that were tied to beds, literally tied to beds. The one girl had been there for like 7 years. And the girl that I ended up meeting, she was 17, just turned 17, and how she was actually the one that pulled the rug out from everything, because this guy who had been visiting her for 3 years fell in love with her and left her a hairpin or something like that and said, I don't know if you can do something with this, but if you can, get out. And sure enough, she escaped. She escaped and she blew the whistle on the whole place. I can't tell you how gross it made me feel to know that I literally drove by that house so many times. I never heard a scream. I mean, yeah, there was always cars out front, but there's a lot of, you know, people have big families here in Madeira and stuff like that. You don't really think about it. So if you notice something suspicious, I mean, it can be really hard sometimes. But I'm not for tattletelling, but on this one situation, when it comes to sexual trafficking, be a whistleblower, please. Please be a whistleblower, because literally the one girl, she had spent most of her from junior high into, you know, her young adult life literally tied to a bed as a sexual slave.
Yes. There's a lot I can add. If you're working with an organization, and there's some really great organizations that are working with trafficking, if you are being trafficked and you need help in the most quiet way, call me. I have a product that we can put in your hands.
Ah, yes. It is
just
an
ask
oil.
for some hope.
Yeah, it's a hope oil. It smells amazing. It will give you a boost and give you confidence. And there is a secret to the bottle. And once you get the bottle, you will open it up and you will find out. But there is a little bit of help in that bottle for you to show you where you can go to get out.
And it is very hard to go back to families, because now you have been a sex used commodity. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of organizations in the area. If you need a referral to those, just give us a shout.
Yeah, you're never alone, and I feel that the oppressors, that's what they want you to feel like. They want you to feel like you're alone and that you have nowhere to go, and that is absolutely not true. There are more people out here willing to help you and more safe spaces for you to go to than we can shake a stick at. It's just a matter of you literally speaking up just that much, you know, just say one little word, just text. If you can only write her the word hope on an email, that's all she needs. Now she knows, okay? That's all she needs. So that's absolutely great. You had a poem for us. Could you share your poem?
Maybe.
Okay, right.
Maybe I can do it.
She's gonna find her poem.
This really
first.
explains. These are words that were written by a friend of mine. That just when I read them the first time, it's like these are words. Oh, and then I lost them, which is always good.
It's okay. I'll do some hand motions. Look at.
She's really good.
I'm entertaining you.
She's a puppeteer.
I'm entertaining you. Yay!
and
Yep, puppeteer.
I love all the little things that you walk across your screen. now you just need a little unicorn.
I know.
This is kind of explained how I felt most of my life. I am lonely, but I'm not alone. I am sad, but I'm happy. I am afraid, but I'm brave. I am me, but sometimes I wish I wasn't. I am quiet, but I am loud. I am alive, but sometimes I feel dead. Perceived consciousness, limited by one's imagination. And that was actually written by a mutual friend of ours,
Yeah.
Dick Macias.
Yeah. How you doing, Snacks? Or Lewis? Or what did you call him?
Duke.
Duke. Wow, you got more names than.
Then we can shake a stick out.
How you doing though? It was a really good poem. Yeah, I would like to say that that's probably how I felt most of my life too. And melancholy was my
State of being.
State of being. And if you don't know what melancholy is, it's like you're not upset per se, but you're definitely not happy. You're just kind of mute, and you're just kind of a lower vibe thing. You're like, oh, you love pizza. You want some pizza?
Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
Robbie did a great job explaining it the other day.
Yeah, exactly. If my boyfriend did a little segment on what melancholy is too. So, but it's one of those things where it's a state of being, but just because it has been your current state of being does not mean it has to be your permanent state of being.
There's more. Okay, sometimes we call it glitter and rainbows. But there can be light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not always a freight train.
That's true. That's true. And you know what's really funny? Sometimes you get to the end of the tunnel and you realize it was a mirror at the end of the tunnel, and you were the one holding the light, walking towards yourself the whole time. So.
Oh, that was profound.
Where do I come up with this stuff? I don't know.
It just comes out of the ether.
It does come out of the ether for me. All right. So how do we contact you for more information on this?
You can look me up on Facebook.
Okay.
At Journey of the Heart, and please do a look up because there is a foreign one that somehow managed to get the same name.
Okay, so look for United States.
Do a look up, and there will be a heart and footprints.
Okay.
And you can shoot me a text, 559-246-7956, or my email is 1betsy1@gmail.com.
That's epic. And I will put all of that. So this has been really personal. I guess is a way to say that.
Good way to put it.
But it's definitely something that we need to get out there. If you know somebody who's been going through this, or you yourself has gone through this, reach out. I mean, help is around the corner. It really is. And please share this. This is something that maybe somebody needs to see, that maybe they really need that little bit of hope and they think that there's nothing there for them. This could change somebody's life. So give a like, give a share, all that good stuff. And yeah.
Give a friend a hug.
Give a friend a hug. Well, thank you so much for being here.
You.
It's always awesome to have you on, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.